Thank you. All right, good. Whenever you're ready.
All right. So the debate that we're starting today is the controversy over euthanasia. We're going to be arguing that euthanasia should be legalized. The definition of euthanasia is physician-assisted suicide, in which a doctor can give the patient a dose of medicine or hear other methods of ending the patient's long-term pain and suffering. There are a couple different kinds of euthanasia. There's a non-voluntary, which is euthanasia that occurs when the person is unconscious, and they're unable to make decisions for themselves, so a caretaker has to make the decision for them. There is involuntary, which occurs when the person who dies chooses life, but is killed anyways. That is considered murder. There's also passive euthanasia, which is when death is brought about by letting the person die, by removing their tube that gives them the IV that gives them the food needed, or adhering a dose of medicine that numbs the pain but has a chance of also killing the patient. The significant claim that I'm going to be going over is that euthanasia is ethical. The inherency claim that I'm going to be going over is that euthanasia brings harm to patients if it is illegal. And my solvency claim is that it's going to boost current health care. Euthanasia being ethical is, well, let's start by saying this. If you are on a deathbed and you were in extreme pain and there was no amount of medicine that could help you, survive or be cured of your disease, would you rather be sitting in your bed waiting for the moment to die, or would you rather be able to say goodbye to your family and loved ones at a specific time and be able to choose the time of your death? Allowing someone to die peacefully, surrounded by loved ones on their own terms, is true compassion. Letting someone go is much harder than grasping them to you and making them stay when their mind, body, and spirit is exhausted. So euthanasia, in that extent, would help bring about peace of mind to both the family and the patient. Also, it is also a right of ours to choose, the right of life is also a right of ours. The greatest human freedom is to live and die according to one's own desires and beliefs. Death with dignity is one of the things that everyone wishes for. No one wants to die just, out of being, terminally sick, not able to move, being pretty much a vegetable in a hospital bed, just waiting for the moment to die. My inherency claim is that patients live in physical and emotional pain. Now, I have a real-life example of this. There is Sue Rodriguez, a mother in her early 30s, died slowly of Lou Gehrig's disease. She lived for several years with the knowledge that her muscles would, one by one, waste away until the day came when she would, choke to death. She begged the courts to reassure her that her doctor would be allowed to assist her in choosing the moment of her death, but they refused. So her whole life was, or a great portion of the end of her life, was unable to move because her muscles were deteriorating in a hospital bed. And I'm pretty sure none of us would like to be unable to move for the last part of our life. We'd like to, finally end our life and move on and help our families move on. Another example is a paralyzed bank manager. She was paralyzed from the neck down, tethered to a breathing and feeding tubes, but the man Grace Sung Lee still managed to mouth while being paralyzed, "I want to die." they've gone to court, her parents have gone to court to keep her alive, but she wanted to die. So her parents actually turned her right to live into a legal battle. And through all her pain, all she wanted to do was end her life peacefully instead of living with her paralyzed from the neck down and brain cancer. My solvency claim is that we should incorporate the Death with Dignity Act into our euthanasia legalization. 2 of the states have already incorporated this act. That would be Oregon and Washington. And the Death with Dignity Act explains that it allows terminally ill patients of Oregon, because this was enacted in Oregon, to obtain and use prescriptions from physicians for self-administered lethal medications. Under the law, ending one's own life in accordance does not constitute suicide. In order for this to happen, the patient would have to make 2 oral requests to his or her physician, separated by at least 15 days. The patient must have a written request to their physician, seen by 2 witnesses, and the patient must be diagnosed psychologically to make sure they aren't overly depressed or suffering from any mental illnesses. And finally, the physician and the consulting physician must determine whether the patient is capable of being able to be euthanized. One of the benefits of this Death with Dignity Act is the benefits to our health care. One of the many reasons would be organ donation. If we allow our patients that are euthanized to die with by being euthanized, it would allow their organs to be saved and maybe save up to 9 other patients that are not terminally ill but require organ donations. So, in conclusion, I think we should incorporate the Death with Dignity Act and legalize euthanasia into the United States.